What's fascinating about the Òpèlè chain, the Ifá Òpèlè chain, isn't just the spiritual role, it's the structure behind it. When the Babalawo casts the chain, each segment falls in one or two states, open or closed. That's essentially a binary system, just like 0 and 1 in computing. From those dual states, patterns emerge, and those patterns map into the 256 Odu Ifá. Now pause there. 256 isn't random, it's 2 to the power of 8, the same mathematical space as an 8-bit system in computing. Now let me digress a little bit. You know, interestingly, in the earliest stage of human life, during reproduction, the same pattern appears. Within the first few days after fertilization, the zygote divides in 4x4, 4, 8, 16, forming what we call the morula. From there, cellular replication continues. By the time the embryo reaches the 256 cell stage, that is when it has achieved a level of complexity where there is a matrix. Embryos start organizing into specific lineages. What does that really mean? It simply means the moment cells stop being generic and start committing to a specific career path. Because in the beginning, they all have the potential to become absolutely anything, like the brain cell, liver cell, placenta, and all that. So I'm saying the 256 cell stage is a very important milestone. And even in other animals, 256 cell stage is often used as a precise milestone to track development. So we cannot just ignore that number 256. So in other words, the entire Ifá framework operates within a finite encoded set of possibilities, just like the digital data. Each Odu, for example, the Ejiogbe, Oyeku, and so forth, is not just a symbol, it's a container. And inside it, we have stories, instructions, warnings, outcomes. We call them allegories. But they're very similar to how data structure work in programming, where a simple binary pattern can represent deep layered information when interpreted correctly. Now, think about screens. A resolution like 1024 by 768. What you're saying is a grid of tiny units, pixels. Each one holds encoded color data. Individually simple, or together, they can represent entire worlds. That's not too far from Odu. Individual patterns combining into a vast system of meaning. So one way to look at Ifá is this: not just a spiritual tool, but a structured information system where binary outcomes generate symbolic codes, and those codes unlock layered meaning. In modern terms, we might call it encoding, compression, maybe even encryption. The difference is, computers process data, Ifá interprets it.